Hey everybody, Joan Zodianz here, and now we're gonna get into the Virgo females, one of my favorite zodiac signs ever because I have a Virgo moon, so I always vibe with other Virgos, and I love them. I love their realness, right? It's completely different than other zodiac signs. Excuse me, I know Virgos hate people that are rude. Let's start there. So Virgos are mutable earth signs, okay? Yes, they're a little different than the other mutable signs because even though they're an adaptable sign, they are more reserved, okay? And even though most mutable signs are social and Virgos are social, they do not open themselves up as easily as like Gemini or Sagittarius, okay? These are people that have more anxiety or like stranger danger tendencies, okay? So they're just like, I don't know you. But I mean, I'll be cordial and respectful. And most earth signs are like that. When it comes to Virgos being in relationships, they have, I don't want to say they have high standards because that's not what it is. They're very realistic standards, but they have this idea of what a perfect relationship is. And if it doesn't fall in line in that little list that they have over here, then they're going to question and nitpick at it, right? Because they are very detailed. They analyze everything. And when they're dating somebody, they tend to be like, I don't know if I can live with that forever, even though it's something really small. Right? Like, and personal hygiene is so important for this sign. So if they see that there's dirt under your nails or you doing something gross, they're gonna be like, I can't live with that. Can you change that for me? If you can't change that, I don't know if I can be in here. It's always that kind of thing in their heads, even if they're not rude enough to say it out loud, right? Because this is not a very rude sign. This is a very internal sign when it comes to things. Now, when you do get closer to them, then that's when they become more vocal. Like if you're living with a Virgo, you find a lot of them becoming very critical of you. But it's because they're also very critical of themselves. They always like to keep themselves in check. Like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta make sure this is in check, gotta make sure that's in check. Like all of these little things come into play in their life. So when they see something a little bit off, they go and they fix it. They're like a goddamn computer. And so when they feel like other people are not like that, they just kind of like, oh, there's imperfections are showing, your imperfections are showing. And even though they're not gonna, like I said, they're not a rude sign, so they're not gonna, be a bitch about it. But if you're close to them and you live in their home, then they might come off as being really negative. Like, no, you need to do it, and you need to do it this way. And the reason why they do this is because they know what's the most efficient way of doing things. And to them, it's the most efficient way of doing things, right? So whether you want to take their lead or not is really up to you. But for Virgos, it's if you don't do it that way, it becomes a problem. Because it's the least efficient way, and they feel like, I'm trying. In their heads, they're like, I'm trying to help this person get better, and they're not getting better, and I don't know what to do about them. It drives them crazy. But if you keep yourself in check and they really don't have anything to worry about when it comes to you, okay, there's a lot of people like that. They keep themselves in check. And the reason why they like to keep themselves in check because they are a very independent person, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. But when you get past that little hump that they have, the critical hump, the ones where they're always questioning everything all the way up until, they marry you, then then you're going to find them being very, like, the equalist. That sounded so bad. They will be your equal in every way, in every form. They will, most of them try to keep fit, and if you're trying to be fit, they're going to be fit with you. You got a nice job, they're going to get that job with you, or, not the same one, but they're going to get a good job too. This is a sign that always wants to be moving up the ladder, and that's natural for earth signs. They always want to be, climbing and progressing, and being that ideal person that they envision, because they think a lot about that future person that they want to be. They do. So if they're always thinking about the future and you're always thinking about the future, then you guys are going to be climbing great heights together. Another thing about being with a Virgo woman is that they can be very reserved in public, right? They can be very like critical of other people in public or whatever have you. But behind closed doors, I don't want to say they're a completely different person, but they kind of are, right? They're more relaxed. They're more chill. If nobody's watching them and they're not in, in the public or anything, they feel like they don't have to put on, I don't want to say a mask or anything, but they don't feel like they have to be so stiff anymore. That's really what it is. It's not like they're pretending to be somebody over here. They're not. It's just more like, they're very conservative and they want to be respectful of everybody. They're very considerate of other people in public. But when they're at home, they can be a completely different person. And, you have this very polished person in public, and at home they can be completely wild looking. But you'll probably never see that unless you live with them. These are like the type of people that will be like, okay, if you come over, they're gonna like clean everything to make sure everything is like perfect. That's probably, if you're that kind of person, you either have a Virgo sun or you have a Virgo moon or a Virgo placement somewhere, because that kind of stuff to somebody who has a Virgo in them is very important. Cleanliness will be very important. So that is my little small take on Virgo women. I mean, I know I said this in all my other videos. I can go on and on about it because I love it. But if you guys want to add your opinion, I'm all for it, as long as you keep it positive and don't hate on other people, and leave them down below and I'll try to respond back to them. So thank you for watching.